Former homeless people of Reddit. What unwritten rules are there towards other homeless people that most people may not know about? I was homeless for about 4 months in Las Vegas. Rules I learned in the area. I'm a girl, by the way. 1. Don't walk around without some sort of knife, because drunk, stupid people like to pick on homeless people. 2. Search each machine you can for loose change and vouchers. Also, if you spend $1 at the penny slots and need a drink, you can get free ones on Fremont Street, which is also a great source of free entertainment when you're bored. 3. If you find a friend, make sure one watches while one sleeps. 4. Make use of shelter money. In Vegas, there is a social service run by a church outfit that provides you with housing vouchers if you are one of the first 10 people in line in the morning. You can find a friend, double up on the vouchers in some places, and get a weekly rental for an entire month. This is awesome during the summer when it's 120 degrees outside and you need AC and a shower. This is also cool if you find a job with a telemarketing company or something that requires you to shower daily. 5. If you get involved in drugs, or have a gambling problem, and you're already homeless, you're pretty much destined to remain homeless in Vegas. 6. If you have food stamps, share. I once had a homeless man buy me a sandwich, and it was the most humbling experience in my entire life. That's about all I got. It's pretty gnarly out there, and I'm definitely glad I am no longer homeless. I give back what I can these days, and am pursuing a career in social services so that I can continue to help others. I went to Vegas on a holiday a few years back. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than what I saw in my few days there, but seeing people begging on the overpasses next to the Gucci store, surrounded by cashed-up tourists and socialites, was sobering. On separate occasions, I saw 2 girls much younger than me, prob in their teens, that were pregnant, begging. One of them had a toddler too. Lots of young normal-looking people, not seasoned homeless folk, but people I could have been friends with, were on the streets. In a city of excess and debauchery, the homeless population really put things into perspective, and I didn't enjoy it as much as my travel companions. My dad told me about the time he had to live homeless for a week for a class. He was working toward being a Catholic deacon. He has lots of stories from it, but the one that stuck with me was his first night of being homeless. He woke up covered in layers cardboard, with a rock on top to hold it in place. The other homeless took care of him his first night on the streets. That's very touching. This thread has been a bit of an eye-opener for me, since a majority of homeless people I see are the ones that give the bad stereotype. It's nice to see that those who are homeless care for each other and are a community. When I was in college, my sociology professor gave us the option of being homeless in a big city for a weekend for extra credit. I wonder if anyone ever took that particular assignment. If you're trying to run away from good parents and are underage, we will make sure the police find you. Kid was 15, and after talking with his friends, we heard no reason for him to be running away. Teenage angst, made sure the police took him home, and left my cell phone number in case he ran away again. Just because I was homeless, that didn't mean I didn't work 2 jobs. Would work about 56 hours a week at a gas station between 2 stores, and then did the usual selling papers on the streets in the morning. As a former homeless teen, though, I will say that I was welcomed with open arms. I didn't come from a good home, and so when I finally got kicked out, ran away. Kicked out at first, then when I didn't come back they claimed me as a runaway. I was shown how to get money, where and when to sleep, how to get food, the best diners to chill at during cold nights, etc. There is no way I would have made it myself if it wasn't for the help I got from fellow homeless people. An important side note: that's not the norm if you're from a bad home. I was 15 when I ran away from home, because my mother threw a cast iron frying pan at my head. I didn't even have the chance to grab my shoes or a good pair of pants, and there were people who instantly helped me on my feet. I was able to find shelter, a tent city, by the end of the day, was directed to 3 square meals per day, and from there, my own place and my own life. I was on the streets for a matter of 9 months. My advice: 1. Don't loan out anything you need to expect back. 2. You don't have to make friends with people to survive. In fact, it's often better if you don't know a lot of people. Just never be a dick to someone you never know when they'll help out. There's no need to burn a bridge before you have to cross it. 3. If someone is helping you out, be super fucking polite about it. A lot of shelters' programs have strict guidelines for how long you can use their programs. If you're polite, they may help you beyond that, or they may use their contacts to get you in a better position, moving forward to the next step. 4. If someone shares something with you, if you can return the favor, do it. 5. If you're a runaway, don't take anything with you that was paid for by your parents. The cops can go after you as if you were a thief. If you have to run, then treat it like a clean break. 6. Aim to not be homeless. It can be fun, just living on the street, and not having expectations, but your goal should be to get the fuck out of that. Try to get your education in order, get certifications, and get yourself a job. A lot of programs are available for the homeless, take advantage of them. 7. Don't do drugs, get drunk. I know that sounds like a written rule, but there are a lot of homeless people who commune by getting trashed together, or become homeless after picking up a habit. Fucking avoid this. It's expensive, both in time and money, and most people aren't going to give you shit if you say no, and they won't give you shit if you say yes. You're responsible for yourself. Save every penny. Buy a tent. Put your tent next to a river. Go to the library every single day. Spend as much time as you can applying for jobs. Take the first job you can get. Keep bathing in the river, and working until winter. Do not spend a dime on booze. Once winter comes, get an apartment, and keep working. Apply to your local technical college, and get a job in IT. Stop being homeless. Worked for me. Be wary of items given to you by other people. My cousin counseled homeless youth for a few years, and one of his favorites got sent to jail for accepting a gift of a cell phone. The phone ended up being stolen out of the owner's car, and had GPS attached to it. The police found him with the phone, and arrested him on the spot. My cousin was called in as a character witness to testify on his behalf. Not sure what happened after that though. Sleep with your phone by your balls so if someone tries to rob you whilst you sleep they can't find your phone. When dumpster diving, if you find a pair of shoes and they are not your size or clothes, then leave them neatly by the side of the dumpster for the next diver. I never had a problem with food like someone else said. Anyways, 1. Find a group of people you can trust, not easy to do, and stick with them. 2. Don't be the guy with the sign asking for money, ever edit. If you must ask for money, state the reason why, and if someone says, "Instead of giving you the money, I'll just pay for it myself and give it to you," don't turn that down. Fucking ever. 3. People think all homeless people are on drugs because that's the stereotype they are presented with. Do your best to not blend in with those people. You will be amazed at what people are willing to do if you're making an honest attempt at getting on your feet, and you do your best to present yourself that way. 4. Don't do anything stupid to get money, sex, crime, you will regret it. Also, don't be a fucking rat, that shit will get you killed. Remember, a lot of the people in your world are off the grid. 5. If you are getting nowhere in the city you are in, get out of there. There is always someone headed your way. 6. Never ever turn down a chance to do some work. Never. That may be an opportunity to get you started again. 7. Even if you're not religious, if a religious family offered you a place to stay sometimes, if you go to church with us, but not always, don't turn it down. Also don't do anything to them such as steal or rob them. That's how reputation gets started. 8. You never too good for anything. If you think you are, that may be why you're out there to begins with. 9. Yeah, those cloths may stink, but at least you have some. I'm sure that's not what you were asking, but it's been over 20 years since I got back on my feet, and those are the things that have stuck with me. Source: homeless for 2 years. I've been technically homeless about 3 times before the age of 15, but you would not be able to tell just by looking at me or conversing briefly. Average looking white, 20 years male college student. Without explaining a ton of other stuff and including many sad stories, I'll get to the meat of the question. For my family, I remembered that we would go to the library every day for several hours at a time. It's a place where extended stays aren't particularly unusual. Additionally, you have AC heat, internet computer access, water fountains, bathrooms, lounge chairs, and nearly endless educating vessels surrounding you in the form of books. I actually used to work in a library where a lot of homeless people would come in every day. As a public service, we had no problem with them using the facilities, so by all means spread the word if you see someone out on the streets on a cold day. Was a bit sad having to ask them to leave at the end of each day when we were closing. I was homeless, at age 17, but lived in a shelter and not on the street. My experiences may vary from yours. 1. Don't fucking trust anyone. The women in my shelter would befriend you and backstab you just to laugh at you when you get kicked out. 2. Is there general prostitution in the area? Chances are some of the women in the shelter are a part of that problem. 3. Mental illness. Mental illness everywhere. Doesn't have to be severe, but there are a lot of messed up people. Be careful who you confront, especially if you're unsure of their mental capacity. 4. Do you own things of any value? Well, better keep them to yourself, because some a-hole will try to steal them and resell them. 5. Do not fuck with people's children. Seriously. You don't know who is friends with who, and might fuck your shit up. Also, don't make comments about their baby daddies if it's very obvious they have several. Touchy subject usually. 6. Don't steal each other's food. If you do, they will hunt you down and find you. I once saw a woman have drugs planted on her so that she'd get kicked out once they found out she was stealing food. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.